Morning everybody. Yeah, I've just come back down to corrals to look at this these pens that I put on sand for the coxie, because it's been a bit of a success, I must admit, even if I do say so myself. We do have some runny scours down here, but I think that's more nutritional than anything else. I have pulled the cornflakes back because it's right the way throughout this, every calf, even the new ones on this ration, this YS2 ration, they're runny, so I think it's something to do with the cornflakes there. He's feeding like 1.2 kilos of cornflakes to him, which is a lot of cornflakes. But anyway, yeah, so I think it's been a bit of a success. Calves look alright. Calves look really well, actually, compared to what they were before we were doing it. They have been under a bit of pressure this last three days with the weather. You know, yesterday we were down at 5 degrees and it was just windy all day. It was bitter here, absolutely bitter. You know, same this morning really, but the wind isn't here. I'm wearing 2 hoodies, like, so it has been bitter, and the milk's dropped as well. Milk's dropped by about 10,000 litres. So, but anyway, yeah. So I think going forward, the next corral that we fill up, which is going to be corral 2 over there, I'm going to put some more sand in, some more pens, and well, I'll clean them out first and put some more sand in and see how we go. Like I say, there are some scoury calves in here, but normally if it's coxie, it's like a bloody scour, it's black, whereas this is all green, so I'm putting that down to the fact that they've overdosed on cornflakes and it's going straight through them. So but yeah, no, seems to be a good job. Even the heifers in the other groups, they're looking okay as well. They're looking smart, like, so we'll be fine. Still got to sort this little job out, this weird, even though we think we're kind of proving it's the beds, still need to sort this out. This is not, you know, this is not ideal at all. Don't like it. Need to do something about it. It's just, well, that one leaked last night by lots of things, but they've sorted it now. But when they empty it, it just comes out that hole and it goes off across the yard there. So what I am going to do is, I have got I got a smaller ball cock that I'm trying to get, because at the minute we got these big ones in here, which we use for the drinkers in the cow houses, and they've always been in there, but because these are so shallow and them valves are so long and the balls are so big, it only needs a slight movement and it opens a valve, and then hence why it fills the water trough up so much. So I've got some smaller plastic ones. They're a lot like the ones we have at home for the low pressure water troughs. So I'm going to see how that goes and see whether I can, instead of having this trough full, because what depth of these is 6. I'd say they're a good 6-inch depth. So instead of having them running full like they are at the minute at 6 inches, I might just try about 3 inches in the bottom and see. You know, they're only baby calves, and hopefully it should. If we do that, like, we clean them out every other day at the minute because they just don't get dirty. But if we do that and the calves are drinking fairish, we might be able to put that to every 3rd day, which then would reduce the water out here. But then I don't like doing that. I quite like them to have clean water, because the trouble is you end up with this kind of scum on top, all this snot and crap. So yeah, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just carry on cleaning them out as we are. But hey, it's all ideas. It's all worth a try. You know, you don't try, you don't know, do you? So, but as far as the sand goes, cracking job. I think the reason the calves look so well, 50% is because of just pure comfort on this stuff, and 50% of that, you know, they do have coxy, they do have it, they're going to have it for sure, but they're not showing clinical signs of it. So you know, so I think it's done 2 good jobs. You know, there's a scour there, but that's, you know, if that was coxy, that'd be black. So but anyway, yeah, I think it's done 2 good jobs. It's worked, it's done what I needed to do, so I'm going to try some more. Right, we shall see you all in a bit. Right, it's yeah, it's Tuesday, and I haven't been up to much really exciting this morning, apart from I've left my radio in the car. Apart from we had a health and safety audit, and I've just been sorting out some bits and pieces. Oh, my radio's not in the car, I left it in the house. Oh, what a plonker. Anyway, got my phone and I've got my head, yeah, I've got everything else. Right, yeah, so we had a health and safety audit this morning. Just been sorting out some bits and pieces that I need to do for that. Nothing serious, thank God, which is always good to hear. We're on top of things. I just thought that I would show you this or something. I had a eureka moment once upon a time, and I've got the old version here, and then I'll take you to see the new version in a minute. Basically, as some of you may know, we are doing refurb on all of our parlours on the farm. At the minute, we're spending a lot of money investing in it, because there's obviously a future in milk out here, and we were all asked for our little opinions on if we can make things better. So my biggest thing always, the camera's right, always is cow flow into a parlour. You can have the best parlour in the world, but if you can't get the cows in there, you know, kiss goodbye to it. And the answer to it isn't to pay someone to milk your cows. That's not the answer to bad cow flow, because it affects your cows more than it'll affect a man or a lady for that matter. So yeah, so this is the old system that we have here. So I suppose I better just tell you how it works. We push the cows out from out of the house, which you can see over there. They walk into this pen here, which is called the wash pen. This pen washes the cows for roughly 5 minutes. So if you can just see, there's like little mushrooms in there with nozzles in them. They spin around like a sprinkler. They wash the cows. They're in there for 5 minutes. Okay, take note of said gate here. Goes up, down. So we'll go up to the other end. So yeah, so we push them in that end. That's all well and good. That happens, same as any other parlour anywhere else. But the pinch point comes when they're coming out of the wash pen. Because once they have been in the wash pen for 5 minutes, they then go and stand in the dry pen for 15 minutes to dry before they then go on into the parlour. But the biggest pinch point is here now, and it affects cow flow so bad that I couldn't believe anybody actually thought up the idea. So here we are at the other end now. So we were stood down there a minute ago, we're at the top now. To let them into this drying pen, they open this gate here, and they open this gate here. This here is a solid wall. So the minute they open that gate and that gate, all the cows have to direct themselves around this wall, and that's not easy for them, because it's not like they can just, it's not like it's an open yard in there, because you know, you've got the mushrooms. I don't know whether you can see. You've got the mushrooms in there, and I think there's about 72 mushrooms. They're kind of the same pattern as these ones, so it's not easy for a cow to move around in there. So you get the surge of the animals coming up the yard. She gets to this end. If she's lucky and she stood that side or that side, she just carries straight on. But if she's really unlucky, she'll get to here and it'll stop her, and then she has to start turning around. She has to start bumping into cows, bumping into mushrooms, and it's just not good. It's not good stress level. It's not good on stress levels for cows going into the parlour, because we need them as relaxed as we possibly can. And the biggest thing for me is their feet. It gives their feet a hammering, turning and pivoting. Cows were never designed to do. So we're going to open these now, and then you'll see then what I mean. It'll all become apparent. So, right, you see? Wall, gate, cows having to walk around it. Not good. I know I keep saying it, but just remember the gate. Another issue whilst I'm here. There shouldn't be a cow pusher in here doing this. He shouldn't be out there doing whatever he's doing. So whether he's just a bit camera shy or whether this is his normal routine, I don't know, but we'll see. I would say it's because he's camera shy. There you go, there's your wall, there's your pinch point in the whole system. From then on in, they're just straight into the parlour. Then they have to turn their 90 degrees in the parlour, because this is what we call a rapid exit parlour. A 90-degree rapid exit parlour at that. So yeah, but anyway, I'll finish up here and then I'll take you over to the new system that we have got going, which is far better. So we're parlour 1 now, and the gate that I kept telling you to remember is that should be, oh my lord, I can't, at that end of the wash pen. Now actually, at this end of the wash pen. So it's one solid gate right the way across now. No walls, no silly gates that you have to open by hand. It's one complete gate right the way across the whole of the right the way across the whole of the wash. So I'll show you it working in a minute, but I'll go and find some cows first, because this group here have been drying and they're now ready to go under what we call the crowd gate to go into the parlour. So this is the next group to be milked. There's 300 in here, and they'll milk them in just under just over half an hour, 35 minutes, they'll be gone through back to the house. Just on their last cycle now in the wash pen. cycle in the wash pen is 1 minute and 10 seconds washing, a minute no washing, then 3 minutes washing. The 1 minute 10 is just a rinse basically, just to try and get any muck that's on them soaked, so that when the initial wash comes on, the 3 minute, it blasts them and it cleans them straight away. So yeah, so they're just having their last wash now. The temperature's back up because the coolers have come on. The water in the coolers has come on. So right, here we go. One thing you'll notice is the cows are pushing to get through this gate because they know they can just walk straight up and down. There's nobody hanging back, they haven't got to walk around anything. See, they're gone. That gate just lifts up and they charge straight forward. It's so much easier on them, they're not having to bounce around gates or anything. How easy they walk up through there is just phenomenal. You probably can't see it on the camera, but like all of our parlours used to be the old system, and that one that I showed you is the last one like that. And cow throughput in the wash pens, you know, the cow pushers have at least got 10 minutes more on their 10 minutes more to do other jobs, right, since we introduced these games. But yeah, brilliant. Yeah, just one of them things. You get the best ideas. I wasn't even on the farm when they had that idea. I don't know where I was actually. It was just one of them things. I came up with it. The best ideas come about you when you don't even realise it, or you're not even trying to think about it. I find anyway. Right, well, I got half an hour off training this guy. It's Thursday today, and anyway, so I just thought while I got a bit of time, I will take some fecal samples from these from these calves that I got this bit of a trial going on. Now if I'm honest, they've started scouring fairish, so I don't know how successful it's actually going to be, but what I'm kind of turning it into is to see how much of the parasite is present within the calves that haven't been treated for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some fecal samples from the calves that haven't been treated for coccidiosis, and I'm going to take some samples from the calves that have been treated and compare the two. There'll only be about a week in it, age wise, and then I'm going to be a little bit sneaky, and I'm going to go to Hardening House and take some samples from them calves. Now them calves show no signs of it, but I will go there and I will take samples from the next calves that are due to move into corrals. So yeah, so I'm here now, so yeah, we'll take some samples and see how we go. You know, because they have started scouring. They seem alright in themselves, but they have started scouring a bit. I'm not going to show you all because you probably don't really want to see it. But yeah, I'll take some samples and we'll go from there and see what they come back with. So I'm not going to take individual samples because that's just a lot of work, and to be honest with you, it wouldn't be of any benefit to take an individual sample from heifers, because I could end up with a heifer that hasn't got it, and it gives me a wrong reading. It gives me a false, what you call it, a false positive basically, because it would be telling you something that you know that's not happening. So I'm just going to do a pooled test of whatever's of all the calves in this pen, or the 4 pens. So I'll just go around, I'll pick some manure up off of the floor, and then I'll put them in a pot and send them to the lab, because we've got our own lab here. So anyhow, so yeah. There you go, there's one pot full of a pooled fecal sample anyway. I'll take, what I'll do, I'll take some from the next pen up, the next pen down, they're all the sand pens, and then I'll take some of the treated animals as well. Down there, I'll take some of some other untreated animals up there, or just normal cement, and then I'll go to the hardening house. I'll get a sample from there as well. But anyway, yeah, that's that. It's quite a good sample actually. And we'll go from there. See what we can find. Right, so I've taken 7 samples from around the I've taken 7 samples from the ones that haven't treated and are on sand, and I've taken a couple of samples, including in that 7 are a couple of samples of calves that are haven't been treated and aren't on sand, and a pen of heifers that have been treated for coccidiosis and aren't on sand. So if you understand all that, good, because I'm a bit lost at the minute. So yeah, so I'll see what they come back as. I'll see if there's any decent results come back from it, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or, you know, I think the ones on the sand, although I reckon the clinical signs have been delayed by at least a week, because they're maybe a week and a half, because normally we see clinical signs coming about 2 weeks in them being in them houses, and these ones on the sand now are 23 days. So, you know, there's a week and 3 days or whatever more. So, because I want to try and measure some success in it, hopefully. Like I said before, I just want to see the severity of it in them animals. You know, it might be that the severity of it is they're in the same place as a treated animal, severity wise. But, you know, we'll see. They might come back with decent figures. It might come back with figures that mean that nothing worked and they're all the same. Or, as before, I've had before on many of my little projecty things, it's brought me back results that just baffle me even more, because it doesn't really go either way. It kind of just... you know, for example, I might get a result back that says that calves that haven't been treated and that are on cement are healthier than ones that have been on sand, that have been on cement and have been treated. So, you know, sometimes you can just get some odd results back. But hey ho, we'll send them off. We'll see what they say, and I suppose I will kind of summarise it in a video at some point, what they said, because it's been a bit of a project that I've been videoing for a while. I have got something else, another little project lined up, which I think I'm going to do. It's not a big project. I just want to see It's in parlours. I just want to see how much water is coming out of the wash pens in each cycle. So I need to go and rig something up so that I can attach it to the top of a nozzle and measure how much water is coming out of that nozzle, then do some maths and figure out how much water is coming out a minute out of the whole system. But anyway, I'll try and get most of that on camera if I can. If I can't, you won't know nothing about it. So anyway, we'll see what. Right, so what you just saw was me and my parlour mechanic measuring how much water comes out of one of them nozzles in the wash pen where we wash the cows. There's a fly. Where we wash the cows, because I'm trying to come up with ideas of how we can save money and become a lot more or just edged towards a bit more, I wouldn't want to call it sustainability, because I don't think what we're doing out here is as sustainable really, if I'm all honest. But obviously we are all looking at ways in which we can make it sustainable. So yeah, so I measured what was coming out of one nozzle. As you probably saw, it was basically an elbow out of the mushroom with a nozzle on the end of it, pipe. We measured it into 20-litre drums. That one nozzle pushed out 143 litres of water. And there's 216 of them nozzles in there. So through a whole cycle, for one house, we're using 30,996 litres of water. So, which is crazy. And over, you know, I've got it written down here, over 12 houses. 12 houses, that's 371,000 litres of water. Do that 4 times in one day, and that's 1.4 million litres of water we use in one parlour washing all the cows. That's a lot of water. And if you put that across 6 parlours when we're running, 6 parlours, so what's that? 1.4. It's about 9 million litres, I think, something like that, a day washing cows. So there's definitely something to be done there. You know, water doesn't, like I say, water doesn't cost us anything, but there is a cost involved because we have to pump it to the cows, and then we also have to pump it to the lagoons once it's finished. And it gets pumped a long way, you know. There's pumps involved, which then, yeah, you do add a cost to water. Even, you know, people at home say, I've got a borehole, it doesn't cost me anything in water. Well, yeah, it does, because you've got to pump the water out the borehole, you know. So, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So I don't know, quick ideas: shut half the valves off in the wash pen, you know, half the amount of water. Or the other idea, which I might try with one house, is I just turn the wash pen off altogether, bang the extra cow pusher into the parlour, he can spray and wipe the teats, and see how that goes. That's an extreme. May just try it with one house. What's going to happen? You know, I'll try it with the Lowe's house, I won't try it with the High's house. But, you know, it's one of them things. Something's got to be done about that. That's a crazy amount of water, you know. We can't carry on just throwing water down the drain like that. But anyway, yeah, I just thought I would just give you an explanation to the video that I showed you. Yeah, it's just me checking out how much water we're using and hopefully doing something about it. So anyway, this was it, Thursday today. Yeah, it'll be the last video this week today, because we've got the Irish football crowd coming down to the farm tomorrow on Friday, so I'm having to entertain, should we say. I'm actually doing the farm tour and all that kind of stuff, so there won't actually be I won't be around the farm too much tomorrow, so there won't be any video. But anyway, so right, well, I'll see you next week, I guess, and yeah, we'll carry on. I'm sure I'll be up to something exciting anyway, whatever it is. See you soon.